First time seeing your name on the flyer. It just was yesterday. Picture that on the day you retire. And they still shocked and amazed. I made it up higher. Cause I came up with them hot hands that played with the fire. Product of the 80s, product Milan store for the lady. I'm a carnival, constantly come with concepts to feed me.
OSNV, what it do?
Yo,
We are
what's
back.
going on?
It's been a hot minute, but we're back.
That's
The
your
boys
boy
are back.
Nas. The new Nas album, man. Go check that. Magic 2.
What's that? Magic 2, right?
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of sequel albums. He did
He's
what
just
was it
doing a
called?
lot of work,
Yo,
man.
that's 5
King's Disease.
albums with Hit Boy in 3
Magic
years.
2. Bro, crazy. It's like Hit Boy's like his personal producer, even though Hit Boy like does his own stuff with other artists. That's
Yeah.
like,
You know,
Yo, that dude is like the hardest working dude in right now as far as production. Like, I mean, obviously there's other producers that like do a lot too, but this dude is doing full length albums with multiple artists and not just mainstream artists, underground artists, like just any and everybody. It's just crazy.
he's doing a bunch of collabos.
Yo, I can't,
he's
and his
working.
own album with his pops that who had just got released and they just dropped an album.
All right, let's get a little psychological, Professor Ark hat. If you study Nas, right now, he's not publicly with someone, right? He's quote unquote still single right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's been single. And I think ever since he's left the baby mama drama and all that, he's been a pocket of creativity and he's just been going in. So this is something like just, when I've looked at artists who kind of fell off, right? And for the most part, people will be like, oh, he fell off. I don't think they really take into consideration their personal
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, you're onto something there. Definitely does seem like without the drama, he's putting out a lot more work. But I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but he's got a masterclass on songwriting that he got
I've
out.
seen it.
Yo, I
Right?
think
So he even said,
yeah, you sent me some shit, something about that.
So he changed. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I had masterclass for like a year, but I canceled it. But I got to catch Nas's masterclass, and he showed a session like how he layers his stuff when he's in a session with Hit Boy. He'll just go in the booth and add on and add on and add on as he goes,
which is a change. So basically, like at least back in the day, he would always be like the rhyme book king. Like it would just even had that joint Book of Rhymes on the Godson album. Where he was just like writing in a rhyme book day in and day out, and he would build his songs off that. And now when you check that masterclass, it's basically like almost like the Lil Wayne type of work thing where he's just going in, he writes and records as he goes. So he'll sit like the way I'm sitting right now, recording line by line by line and just keep punching it in until the song develops. And I mean, I can't remember it too well right now, but I think he mentions that once it's done, he may, hear it out and then record it again like fully, but his writing now is recording in the process. So that might be why he's being a lot more productive. It could just be a change in the way he's doing shit.
But I'm sorry. It also has to do with having unlimited studio time. You got the money. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to worry about, oh shit,
helps out.
I only got 3-4 hours. Let me hurry it up. They got unlimited time. They're in there all night, banging shit out. Pause.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely part of it. I know that it's also actually doing it though, because I could say I could do the same thing, but I don't necessarily do the same thing. I mean, I still have my way where I work, where I'm sitting with the beat, I'm writing with the beat.
I will say this, right? Like, because we're discussing that and just different eras of creativity. You are in a pocket of creativity yourself. What has happened? Has something happened in your life in the last that just gave you that, man, no holds barred, guns blazing coming out right now? And
believe it or not, man, it hasn't even been like an event or a thing. It's more of a mindset, which I'm gonna be honest, man, is not the easiest thing to keep. It's probably what separates anybody who continues doing something to somebody who quits is simply just continue, even when you don't feel like it, bro. And I know that the shit
tired of being tired and it's like, just do it.
Yeah, it sounds easy when you say it, man, but it's not, because the hardest thing for anything is to actually do it. Whether it's exercising, whether it's whatever, it's just doing the shit, even when it may not be fun, even when you don't want to, you don't feel like it. It's just doing it. But I mean, I got to figure that that's not a hurdle that somebody like him would have, right? He's already gone through that and probably is not, that's not something that's ever going to stop him like not feeling like doing it. It's more of the way that he's getting so much output is because I think personally, he just changed the way he's doing it, recording as he's writing, which I mean, sounds simple enough, but not every. I could even try it and may not feel comfortable doing that. It all just depends on what works for you. But to me, when I watched that masterclass, it was kind of interesting because I wouldn't have expected that. I always knew that Lil Wayne works like that, where he's just constantly punching in and recording. But I always thought Nas more of a poet, writer kind of.
Yeah.
So to see him recording as he's writing, it was interesting. Like that really caught my attention seeing him do that.
Yeah, that's good to know. Again, I also think it has a little to do with his stress management too, because you know, bro, stress is a creative drainer. Anyone's stress, that's just gonna pull you out of that zone of wanting to do that. But
create.
yeah, I like that. I don't think I've necessarily done that record line for line. My brother shout out to Eaz, he has the lab, so I had the luxury of doing that. Even when we were at 5 Studios, your spot, Eaz, we had that. But I don't think we ever really did that unless it was just a freestyle session and like we're just going in and just
you're talking about
off the head. But I
like
like
about
that.
Somebody who's written, 10, 20, 30,000 rhymes. So I'm sure for him, it's no thing. Like for me personally.
Us too. Yo, we got those.
Yeah.
I won't lie. My writing process has changed as well. Like, I think before where I would overthink too much and try to perfect a structure or rhyme, now it's just a thought. Like I think of a verse, it's a full thought, and I can correct thoughts. I've had bad thoughts, great thoughts, not so good thoughts. So it's like my verses are gonna reflect it. This is a good verse. Okay, this one's could need a little work. So it's just now I'm not trying to like perfecting it and just leaving it as it is, to just show more of the layers and contrast as an artist too,
Yeah, but I know for me that if I'm not comfortable with it, I don't care how many times I try to record it, it's never gonna sound right to me. So for me, like I feel
I'm all for that too sometimes,
I gotta have 10, 12, 16 bars written before, because I even sometimes the way I write a bar after I say it, I'm like, okay, this word needs more inflection, or the cadence has to be this way. I don't know if I would get that if I just started recording it the minute that I was writing it. So I mean, to each their own. You've heard the whole album though, the entire Magic 2?
Yeah.
What's your
Okay.
opinion?
I don't dislike it at all.
I like it.
Right.
It grew on me. It's got some bangers on it.
Yes, it grew on me. The song with 50 Cent, 50. So he went off on that. I was like,
yeah.
50 went off on that. But beat wise, I like, how the Nas 3, the King 3, he had
King's
that
Disease.
30 Summers, right?
Yeah.
Like that hype beat. I liked all the beats on this one. It's not that I dislike any of the beats.
It's just different. They're like a little different.
They were like more lo-fi beats.
And for a second, I was like, is that Hit Boy? It sounded a little different, right?
Yeah. One thing I will say about Hit Boy is that, he's got less of a signature sound than a lot of other producers.
You're right. You're right.
Like you always knew when it was a Premier beat. You always knew when it
Swiss
was a
beat, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So with him, it which is probably working to his benefit. Like you don't really recognize it the minute you hit play that it's a Hit Boy beat. But I will say that the beats on Magic 1 I liked a lot more than these beats on Magic 2. And I don't know, King's Disease 3. So if I was rating it like out of 5, I would have gave it like a 3 when I first started listening. And then as I kept listening to it, it grew into a 4.5 for me. This one, I'm listening to it, but I'm not getting the same feeling as King's Disease 3.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this one took a few more spins for it to grow on me. I think with Nas, he's more of a like introspect rhymer, so it's not you may not immediately get it like those single songs, like those hits, right?
Right.
But those are songs that they're more in depth, so they'll just grow on you, and lo and behold, you probably listen to those a little bit more than some of these, radio friendly songs. But yeah, I'm still in the process where I'm still soaking it in. And again, I'm just like you guys. I rate Magic 1. I like the beats better. I think rhyming wise, he went in. He's hitting pockets that I don't think he's hit before. Even now when he's doing his double time stuff, he's way more in the pocket So I think he's getting better, man. Like, to be honest, like,
It's just so
it
crazy.
sounds crazy how he's getting better.
I think we might have mentioned that in one of our previous episodes, Ark, that one of the reasons why he's sounding so good now is because he's having fun. He doesn't have a care in the world. The guy
And
made
he's
it.
rich.
He
Yeah.
beat the game. He's got money coming in. He's not doing it for the hunger. He's doing it because he loves it, right? He's
Yeah.
doing it because he's
That
having
changes.
fun with it.
Yeah.
And so that's really it. I just quick notable mention, sorry, because we were talking about producers that have their own sound. So I'm thinking like Dr. Dre.
Well,
You know, as soon as you hear the beat, Timbaland, right?
Obvious.
Just
Super
Blaze.
obvious. Yep.
These guys, as soon as you hear a beat, you know it's done. So
Even Kanye beats.
Kanye, yeah.
Being that we are giving some accolades out or just some appreciation and awareness, let's draw our attention to Mr. Saltos. Congratulations, sir. You just launched the site, son.
Well, thank you, sir, for saying my government out loud for everyone.
Yo, nah, man, I'm very proud of y'all.
Congrats, nonetheless.
I love all the merch, everything you got on the table, man. I'm definitely I know it's just when I planted the seeds and it's growing, so definitely wish you much success. And we're gonna launch it too. We have this launch party coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, definitely, man. Would like to hear your thoughts on just the crunch. I know that's what's had you MIA the last few
Yeah, so I've been MIA. Sorry guys. I appreciate you guys having to put up with that. But I gave myself a deadline. I've been working on this website. Well, I hired my boy. He's really helped me with a lot of the back end stuff. Pause. But just putting everything together is my first time working on an e-commerce site, and there's a lot of details that goes along with it. So to me, it was gratifying.
It's not MySpace.
Finally, like just finishing it and launching it. But there's a lot more work to be done. You know, this is where the marketing comes in, the promotional videos. So that's where the fun really starts. But yeah, it was a milestone that I was happy with. I gave myself like, I'm gonna launch it on my birthday, and it still went a little over a few days, but I'm happy with
Latino time, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, Latino time. But thank you guys for the shout out and for the support. I'm gonna be rocking my shit all the time.
Yeah,
you know, like I gotta be my own.
Once it gets a little colder again, I'm throwing that on. I love that hoodie. I need that daddy pack.
That fanny pack. Yeah, I got fanny packs. I got all that, yo. Got all that, God. But yeah, man, thank you. I mean, listen, we all got our own projects. Eaz, you got your albums, you got your music, you got your merch too. So yeah, Ark,
I love it.
Got a banger.
Yeah, stay tuned, yo. Yo, I can't wait. So we'll get into that in a second.
You can't just put the spotlight on me because we're all like, we're all producing shit. You know what I mean?
Right now is your time. I mean, at the end of the day,
you deserve it, man. I could tell by looking at the website and looking at the merch, and like the quality is official. You're putting out some high quality stuff, the designs, the illustrations, everything. So you definitely deserve it, man. And happy birthday on that too.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah,
I turned 30.
31.
I wish.
But this is all old school new vibes. I love that we have this platform where we can introduce, all of our endeavors and everything. And I'm so hyped. That launch party you'll have some merch and some music from Eaz, myself, Dean will have some of the stuff there. But with the book, it's funny. I thought I was like at the finish line, right? Because I finished it. All I gotta do is just hand deliver it to the editor. She's gonna do a bang, 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 and then it's ready to print. But, this whole journey of writing the book it's my first time, so it was really, she gave me like a reality check and humbled me as far as how far I thought I was, right? Because she gave me some homework to do and I had to kind of re-edit stuff and, how I word things and different point of views, making sure I'm consistent throughout the whole book, right? So it's like when I wrote this, I'm writing it just in the course of like 6 months, and I'm writing this at night, I'm burning. And so it's like I'm just boom, 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 just writing all these thoughts, all these concepts and these ideas and just going back to back on it. And I may have not went back and remembered the flow or the continuity of my point of view of who's the speaker, the observer, you know, the person dictating the narrative. And at first, right, because
you got a master class in being an author.
Seriously, it gave me it back to what we had said before, talking about you have to just do it, effort. So when she hit me with everything, right, I was like, okay, I have to do this now. So I literally it was almost like starting again, because I had to start from the beginning, and I reread the whole book again. So it's like I got this shit damn nearly like memorized and shit. I got
like one big verse.
Yo, let me spit a quick 186 pages, yo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like it blew my mind, because her outline, she was surprised that I came back, and within a week with the whole thing done again. She was like, I can't believe you completed that in that amount of time. And I was like, I just needed that outline you gave me. I didn't have that when I first went into this. I just like, my introduction was 11 pages, bro. She's like, what are you doing? Like, you're bleeding into the story. Save some of that for the story, because introduction is just quick, scratch at the surface, what you're saying, a little body, and then, wrapping it up. And, starting the book. And I kind of went all over the place with the introduction alone. And I split that, narrowed that down to 3 pages. It's just, even though it sounded like a lot, what she gave me, it gave me all the direction I needed to immediately, like, if I just didn't have enough time to do it in one day, because I was going to sleep every day, like 2:30 in the morning. I got to wake up at like 7 for work and stuff. So I was like, let me just not kill myself over this either. But I was so hyped that drive, because even going into it, we kind of have references for everything in life. Not that we need our handheld, but we got like guidelines for everything. And I felt like this was just really a big ocean, and I was just swimming in. And that's why, like, even when I just was writing, it was just a little all over the place, which is how my normal personality is, very scatterbrainish a little sometimes. So she definitely, I'm so happy. And she even hit me, was like, look, I understand if you don't want to continue, because I was so brutally honest. I love what you have. I think there's a lot of potential to it. We just need to do this. And I'm so hyped now. Like, before, it wasn't that I wasn't hyped before, but I knew it was a little all over the place. But now I stand behind this. Now, like, fully in my heart, I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is gonna be really good, And
So
I gotta thank her.
Now that this process has taken place, how far along would you say that you are?
So now I'm at so she is finalized by Sunday. She'll be done, and then Lord willing, by next week I'm going to print. So
okay.
Yeah, she's, again, I'll shout her out. Her name is Kathleen. She's a older PhD. I got her from Upwork. So when I was on Upwork, I first connected with someone in in the United Kingdom. And I think, again, just that culture gap a little, because the book is full of a lot of what I believe in, right? A lot of theories that I proved to be real because I carry them out, and this is happening, manifesting in my life, right? So I can vouch for them. But for, some who aren't that daring and sometimes just not out of the box kind of thinkers like that, it may, if you're not looking for a self-discovery book or self-personal growth book, that may. So I think her angle was more, she was more like physics and more like logical stuff, and like super data driven. And it was just, she had amazing academic scholarships and all that. But I was like, I needed someone that could connect with the story and the message. And this lady was like so real. And now, so hopefully, got this number one.
Yeah, man. keep us updated on that.
Yeah, and
see when the release date is. Yeah, and the album, they got an album accompanying it.
Yeah, so the album right now, Luminary is just putting the final touches on it. And what's not even, I'm not even going to say taking time, because the book needs to be done and he's kind of going at the pace of that. But I love that we've taken his time because, you know, it's the whole theme is GPS, right? So we were able to make it even more tailored to like that metaphor GPS, right? So without saying too much, but you'll hear some little GPS nuances throughout the album that I think really add value to the whole project. But yeah, that's done. Like 12 tracks on there, some skits, tried different things, you know, some acapellas in there. Just try to get as creative as possible while sticking to the book. So it's like, you know, the whole album is pretty much like a journey, a spiritual journey, getting yourself back on track, which I love speaking about, right? Because, you know, just the day that I live and how all the practices that I do, I definitely speaks to that. But I am also happy to get back to the reckless bars again. You know, that just go in and slap your mother up in the booth real quick. You know.
Yeah, man.
So
speaking of reckless bars, that's my cue. So as far as what I'm doing in terms of the music thing, so right now, I got this EP that I'm working on with me and my boy Jake Palumbo. We're
shout out to Jake. Yo,
yeah, shout out to Jake, man, engineer, producer, rapper, connoisseur. So Ark and I got a studio session with him this weekend. So during that studio session, we're actually going to be taking flicks for the cover.
Yo, is that your beat too? You made that beat?
Which beat? The
Rage,
which one?
The Rage Crap?
Yeah. All those beats essentially are mine.
All right.
Yo, appreciate that. So that EP that I'm dropping with him, that's 3 tracks, all produced by me. So we're doing the cover actually the day of that studio session, and during that studio session, Ark and I are going to be doing a new joint, hopefully song number 2 for a 5-track EP that we're going to be dropping at the end of the year. So stayed working, man. I got 2 singles out right now, and then I got the album Cinematic Rap that I dropped in April. I'm working with this ad agency called Effective Exposure, so I'm putting out ad content on social media, just trying to build my following up.
I see that. Yo, I can't go anywhere on Instagram without
yeah, but that's kind of the point, though.
I love
man.
it. I love it. This is exactly it.
Yo, and it's dope because I mean, shout out to them. They're called Effective Exposure, but they're very analytics driven. So it's more than just getting you streams or putting you on playlists or stuff like that. Like they use ads to see who's clicking, see who's listening, see who's following, and then from there they see what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be replaced. So in essence, they're just strictly ad driven. They're not really numbers driven in terms of trying to just get you plays that don't lead to nothing. They're about building you a fan base. So I'm working with them, seeing where that goes right now, and just continuing to put my own stuff out and just trying to stay working, man, stay putting out music. So the EP that I'm about to drop, hopefully by the end of the month before the show that I'm doing on September 2nd is called Engineer to Engineer. So it's me and Jake both working on that. So that's supposed to drop at the end of the month.
Ear.
Right. To
you should put
Engineer. There you go.
You know what I mean? Like the actual ear, EAR.
Yeah.
Play, and we'll talk about that later.
I'll consider it. We'll see.
Percentages, that's 3%.
Well, there's a page, there's an Instagram page, and shout out to them called Engineers. They use that exact same shit. So that's the problem when you think you got a $1 million idea, you look it up and somebody else got it already.
No idea is original.
Exactly.
You see, full circle. Shout out to Nas.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on, and I'll have more info on that. When we don't.
I love your which I'm looking forward to also doing. I love how your performance videos and the marketing and stuff you're putting out, man.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I think that's exactly what this day and age. That's what we're living at, Content.
Yeah. A lot of people say. I mean, I don't know if I agree with it or not, but a lot of people say that music videos are kind of dead right now. It's just mainly reels and trying to find what works and what gets engagement. I'm a little 50-50 on that, man. I still do like a music video, but I do hear what people are saying in terms of there's no point in making a music video for a song if you don't know whether that song is going to pop. So,
well, what's crazy? I'm sorry, go ahead. No,
I was just saying that I think reels are a good way to go to at least see what the feedback is on your song before you ever invest any money in a video per se. Because you never know whether that song that you're putting all that time into is going to get any kind of, feedback or engagement. it's not a bad idea to just, especially with phones fucking recording in 4K, set your phone up, record some shit, and see if people like it. And if people like it, then you you see if you invest in it.
I think people are gonna invest. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I was gonna say that's the perks of also being a videographer, because you could, do some editing and shooting some stuff on your own, and put some cool stuff out there, and not break the bank.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you touched on a few things that we can kind of unpack too, like just this day and age. What was I watching? I was watching shout out to Matt Hoffa.
He was watching Barbie.
Opinion. That's what you saw that twice already, right? Yo, low key, I heard it was hype, bro. I heard it was a lot of woke information going on in there. So I don't know, maybe
well, it did good at the box office, so that's all that matters is the numbers.
Sure,
that's because those little teeny girls got their parents to go take them to go see that. This is why everything is kind of being made so family friendly and stuff. And I know we can dive into that too, but really quick, what I saw on Matt Hoffa, what's his name? Ed Lover. Remember Ed Lover? He was just talking about how the state of music, where it's at now, how funny enough, you want to call them the old heads or the OGs, but they're getting more notoriety. Their ticket sales are higher. Their concert sales are higher than like all the newer artists who are still streaming and it's still the trending topics. Yeah, but like
definitely
the old school. So he was like, look, all you 40, 30, late 30s, late 40s rappers that are ill, continue to make music. There's an audience for you. And he was just saying how people, they'll go and they'll support what they feel is worth it. So the story, right? But the attention span is at a 30-second attention span, he said. So
TikTok. We live in a TikTok generation.
Yeah, that's that. You could get that dopamine hit. That's it. But again, it's a theme. And
just to provide some info on that. So you're right, because if you just look at streaming, you would think that, teen rappers and rappers in their early 20s are running shit, because if you look up and down the list, other than your J. Cole's and your Kendricks, the people who are doing 30 million streams a month are the younger rappers. But what's been happening lately is they're doing these tours and these shows at $300 a pop, $400 a pop per ticket, and they're not selling the tickets, and they've even canceled a few shows, right?
Yeah.
And then you got somebody like 50 who's doing his tour and he's selling out.
Wu-Tang selling out everything.
Wu-Tang is selling out.
Wu-Tang is selling,
And it's because their fans are going to go and support the music that they want to hear. And I think what people are not realizing, that when it comes to streaming, they're popular, so they're going to get their streams. Or remember, an app that's $9.99 a month, people don't really need to be picky with what they're streaming. You get access to everything.
And you get no attachment to something.
Right. It's not like before you only had $20 and you had to buy only one CD kind of shit. Here, you got access to everything. You can stream everything. But when it comes to a concert, I don't know if people are willing to shell out a couple of $100 for some shit that they don't really want to put their time in to go see. So again, I could just be
No, you're 100%. 100%. You're spot on.
Interpreting it my way, but that seems like that's what's happening.
It is. Another thing you mentioned is just the content, right? It's definitely different. There's nothing really that is driving you to want to listen to more, really, because it's momentary. And one thing he did mention that is way different. He's like, you'll buy a CD before it's physical. You're touching it, you open it up. There's like lyrics and everything in it.
Yeah.
You'll want to keep this, cherish it as yours. Like you said, to your point, the streaming platforms doesn't provide any kind of opportunity for us as fans to connect solely with an individual, because like you said, it's just a hot song on to the next one. There's a playlist.
And that's why you notice that a lot of the younger rappers who are able to sell out and also get streams are the ones with unique personalities, where like somebody like Russ, he's very unique on social media. Yeah. Somebody like Hit Boy, he's unique on social media. So I think it's somebody who's can kind of do everything. That's really, really taking advantage of every platform that is actually
Look, I think that's a good
superstar.
segue to shout out to Nems, right? Congratulations to you as well. He's been doing this for a while. He's been doing this. I mean, I remember doing EOW for the longest, skinny Nems, like back in the day Nems, and continued. Then I think he had a good niche with the whole brand, right? He had that clothing where it kind of takes popular, logos, and he kind of thugs them out, right? The polo bear, he puts the scarf, two guns on him, flipped all this stuff, genius idea. And he was getting a lot of street notoriety from that, getting a lot of well-known people still continuing to do music, still performing, still battling. And then he had that. So along with now showing some of his personality, which he's, a comical person, and throws on that whole, street appeal. And I think it with a little bit of humor, and it smashed. The Bing Bong caught on, and then that propelled everything else, and still continue to make good music. And then now he just got signed to Rosenberg. So, which is, took him a while, but to people who are just seeing this, like, oh, it's an overnight success. He came out with Bing Bong a couple of years ago, and that's it. Nah, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that, Back to what we originally said. Yeah, it's just putting in that effort, man. Nobody's going to build this.
Staying consistent, man. Consistency separates everybody. Because being consistent, it'll just... a man says some shit online where he said that you got to see something 7 times for it to really make an impact on you. So how else are you going to show somebody your shit 7 times if you're not being consistent, man? If you're just giving up after 1 or 2 times, there's no way that you're going to make an impact. It's always about consistency.
Yeah, repetition.
Which was always my Achilles heel, admittedly. So that's why I'm trying to stay on the mindset of just continuing to do shit, even if you may not want to. Maybe if you don't even feel like it that day. But any progress is progress. But being stagnant, that's a recipe for failure.
Yeah. I think it's also when you kind of just wallow in your shortcomings or in your like mistakes, and you're just instead of, like you said, going forward, just moving forward, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
We, last time we had a corny episode, we didn't have good topics. It's not the end. Next week, like
there's always a next
move on. There's always, what helps out with that too? Like even practicing yoga, because I go in, right? And I'll go in and I'll feel I killed it. I had an amazing session. I feel real proud. And then there's those sessions where I just, I underperformed. The heat got to me. I was in my head. But it's okay. I come back next day and I'm not carrying any of what I didn't do right the night before. It's just I get a whole new canvas.
Yeah.
And I think
great.
Yeah, so it's just that mentality.
Same with martial arts. Sometimes you're the nail, sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you get some good rounds in, sometimes you get your ass kicked.
Very true.
It's all part of learning and part of evolving and getting better.
Sometimes you're the hammer.
I wish I could trademark it, but I didn't come up with it.
It's fine. It's gonna be on my hook.
I tell you what is. I tell you what is.
When Eaz hears the hook for the next.
I tell you what is trademark. Bushido 7.
Yo, shout out.
Bushido7.com. Shameless plug.
Yo, words, and I think that hat makes it look a little cuter too. You know what I'm saying? It makes it accentuates.
I like my dad trucker hats with the rim, bend it a little bit. I'm gonna have the regular snapbacks with the flat joint for the fall and for the winter. But for this era, I like the little.
We need to get the plug to make some toys. You know me, I love anime, love toys. That'd be dope to get some toys.
That would be dope.
Well, so the plan.
Would love that.
Thank you. The plan is to I'm developing the graphic novels. That's where I'm really going to dive in and tell the story for this group of characters that I developed. It's going to be fun.
If you need a voiceover for one of them, let me know.
Well, the graphic novel comes first.
I could talk like this. You know what I'm saying? I could be that guy. Don't play with me, yo.
Hey, you're gonna be the Cholo samurai warrior. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun journey. I can't wait to continue. So basically, we were talking about how cool the images look of Deadpool fighting Wolverine. We got fucking Hugh Jackman back. They backed up the Brinks trucks and brought my boy Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. So I think that's pretty cool. Like I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
What do you
me
guys
too.
think?
I think Ryan Reynolds was determined to get him. Like he's been talking about getting him in a movie with him for like what
Mhm.
since Deadpool 1 came out, he's been talking about getting Wolverine
Yeah.
and Hugh Jackman on. So I think that was good. I will say that most of the time, the movies that Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine in is dope. I mean,
Mhm.
Origins was
I'll
a little
agree.
so-so,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, it was.
yeah, but
Still
overall,
like
I'm excited for it.
X-Men 2 was still my shit, yo.
Yeah, me too. I
X-Men
like that
too.
one. Still
Yeah.
like that.
That was
movie.
the
I mean, Logan. That was one of my favorites.
Logan was good too. Yeah, Logan was good.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I still can't get Green Lantern out of my head. Like, you know,
That
I don't think
shitty ass
I don't
Green
think he
Lantern.
can get Green Lantern out of.
Remember, that's
Yeah.
why he shot himself in the head when he was reading the script.
Exactly.
He broke the fourth wall. But also they got Wolverine.
Shout out
in
to
the,
She-Hulk. She just got fired too.
Hold up, they got Wolverine in the classic yellow and blue suit.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Well, they haven't
get it.
shown it yet. They haven't shown it yet in the movie.
But they
I
have
think it's-
pictures online.
They do got pictures, yeah. At least it
Yeah.
ain't spandex though. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not.
spandex. It looks like a regular
Yeah.
suit. So
Remember, they're gonna add CGI to it, make it look official tissue,
right.
bone gristle. You know.
Word.
But I mean, listen, man. I haven't been really. I know you guys beg to differ, but I've been a huge Marvel nerd since like the original phases leading up to Endgame. But then after that, I just feel like it's been on a decline. Like I don't feel that same anticipation or like hypeness. Like, oh man, I can't wait for the next Marvel shit to come out. It's just like they're just putting out this mediocre content.
So do you think some of that content is AI written scripts? Because I did hear, this is one of the reasons why they're having that strike, the Screen Guild, whatever shit. But
The Film Actors Guild.
yeah. What does that spell? But listen, I think damn son, fuck me up.
AI scripts. Come on,
AI.
Stay focused.
Yes.
Stay focused, Arky.
Yo, so I heard that AI are writing some really cheesy ass scripts. So I don't know, but maybe that could be part of it. I don't know.
Listen, all right, there could be some validity to that, but these writers have just been writing. Human writers have been writing just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just trash.
It doesn't have to be AI for it to be bad. I mean, people can just strike out with it. I will also say that when it comes to AI, like I believe it because like my man Left towards night, shout out to him. Yo, he could do anything on Chat GPT, bro. I've seen him do some incredible shit just by being able to change the prompts of what he tells it to do. So I could easily see them trying to do that, but in the end, it's only gonna do what you tell it. So it would be a very bad idea to be AI only in terms of scripts. You still need the human element because I feel like what's dope and what's whack, that's kind of a subjective thing. You know what I mean? Like not like that's something.
Have you heard some of this AI music and stuff?
Yeah, I've heard that. That's kind of just a recreation of voice, though. That's not the same as putting out a good product in terms of something you'd want to watch.
So it started with the writer strike started like more than a month ago, and then now the actors are striking. So how long do you guys think this is going to last? And I mean, they're not really. There's no new big movies in development or shows. Nothing like, and it's going to push back a lot of current projects that are being worked on.
It depends on how we receive anything that's written by either replacement writers or AI. If it's received badly, they're gonna cave to whatever their demands are, simply because there's so much money. So right now you're withholding it because, I mean, if you got money, you always withhold the money, But in the end, they're asking for their fair share. So if you need them, you're gonna give it to them.
That's the
if you don't need them, you won't. Right. Right. So
do you feel like a lot of these actors are rich?
Lead actors,
yeah. I don't know.
I mean, in the end, they're really asking for what they used to get before streaming. I mean, these actors used to get residuals and royalties when shit got played on TV over the air. They're not getting it with streaming, and money for them has dried up while the streaming, studios, whether it's Amazon, Netflix, they're making money out the ass. So in the end, you could part.
So many.
Part
Oh
with
my
some
God.
of it. I mean,
Speaking of streaming, I know I've been reading like Disney Plus, Disney in general as a whole has been losing billions of dollars. Not just from streaming, but like the parks. They're so expensive now. Like people aren't showing up like they used to. And so, yeah, they've been losing a lot of money, man. So I've heard rumors that they might be selling soon. You never know. Like imagine if they sell to like a company like Apple. Can you imagine how crazy that would be?
Selling the roster. I know. It was crazy. I used to work for this long time for Revlon. Well, actually, the owner of Revlon, his name was Ron Perlman. He owned Marvel. He owned Consolidated Cigars. You remember this is back in the day.
Ron Perlman,
I
the name rings a bell.
I used to get all these free. This is crazy because I love comics, and being that he owned Marvel, we would get collections of that. He also owned Consolidated Cigars, which is Phillies and Dutch Masters. Isn't that crazy? I was like
a dream come true, like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, and he had fucking Revlon. Like I worked in the building with a bunch of models. It's like all throughout it was crazy. We're working for Ron Perlman with that. Shout out to that fucker.
Shout out to Ron Perlman.
We need this investment. We need a couple mils and
I mean, they might not be able to have money to invest in anything right now,
but here's the thing, though. I think they losing money because they're spending too much of it. They got used to making so much of it that now, like perfect
segue.
Example, Secret Invasion, right? They spent a ton of money on that shit for some shit that wasn't even in theaters. And I think they banked on success that they thought was a foregone conclusion that really is not. I mean, you still got to put a great product out, and in the end,
how did you feel about? Did you see it? Did you see it?
So starting with the money aspect, right?
Yeah.
They said they spent about 250 million for a six episode miniseries, short episodes. Number one, let me get my rant out of the way.
Yeah, do you think we know how you feel?
All right,
so wait, really quick, was that more than fucking what's his name?
What?
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh, Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Which series do you think cost more?
Oh, I don't know. I
think this one.
Because that's run by Lucasfilm. They're all in the Disney umbrella, but that's Star Wars, Lucasfilm. That's its own.
Separate. There was a lot of shape shifting. So it's the shape shifting CGI that cost them so much money. But go ahead, Team.
Well, no, so I had high hopes for this because I mean, on the aftermath of fucking She-Hulk, it was a big disappointment. So I think this was the next show. Oh no, they did Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was cool. Is it Miss Marvel? No. What's her name?
Yeah, Miss Marvel.
It is Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah, that was
so. But the show flopped. Like, not a lot of people tuned in.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
It was a cute show, but yeah, exactly. There's no big names in Marvel. Like, oh wow, I can't wait for the next Captain America. I can't wait for the next Iron Man.
Well, Loki's coming out.
Loki's
series was kind of good. I appreciated that.
So we'll see how Loki does. But
in October.
When I saw them promoting Secret Invasion, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be like
fire, right?
Huge espionage. It's gonna be like Winter Soldier, like that. I got those type of vibes. And then I see this shit playing out, and the plot is just getting, it's getting weird and dumb, and they're treating Nick Fury, right, like all these other classic heroes like Han Solo. They did him dirty. Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? Like they're like the old,
even Luke Skywalker. They did
Luke Skywalker. So all these iconic characters, they just like they're the withered old freaking man. I don't know. I just feel like they didn't do them justice. And then the way it played out at the end with this
your boy Agent, with your boy fucking Iron Patriot. What? War Machine?
Yeah. So
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that because that's my biggest fucking upset about that. But yeah, so this chick from Game of Thrones, what's her name? Emilia Clarke. I like her as an actress. She's cool, but she's not really in a lot of stuff.
Your wife isn't. Don't say that too loud.
Bro, I mean that CGI fight at the end was come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it was corny.
oh my god.
Plus, not for nothing, but she shrunk, or I think was it she that shrunk? That shit is not part of his DNA. That's pin particles. And maybe I'm being picky, but it's like, come on, man. If you're the writers, you got to know this type of shit because the fans are gonna point it out. So
Yeah.
in the
And
end,
a lot
like
of
she
plot
shouldn't be
holes.
shrinking. Like what the fuck?
The amount of power they had, right? They should have done way more destruction for that.
They
shit.
made her super, like one of the most powerful characters.
Just wanna,
Are they
how
even
the
gonna
fuck can
use
you
her
top
again?
that? She could
I
have
think
beat
they
fucking
are.
Thanos.
I think she's probably gonna stick around and be
So
part
is
of
she
whatever
the
they're
super?
doing.
Who's the super scroll that's in the video games and shit?
But she
Who would
just
that
killed
be?
him. She defeated
So-
him at the end.
But
Travis.
does that make her the new super scroll?
I would presume so. I don't know what way they're going with it.
Because
It
you
was-
saw she kind of alluded to not being go with the flow kind of person. She was like, yeah, we good. Like,
So
but at
this
the
whole
end, they did
time,
say they'd use each other. So
bro, and then this whole time, my boy Nick Fury been smashing a fucking green alien.
yeah,
Like,
that was
what?
a little. That was a little.
whoa,
don't be
what?
racist. Don't be racist.
No,
but
like, come on, bro. And then
But-
Rhodey, War Machine.
Yeah, snatched
Son,
up. Snatched
son.
up. You snatched up the war machine.
my man Rhodey,
how?
who had
How?
huge role. I mean, he had an impact in
Civil War?
Infinity War and Civil War. So
Yo,
you mean
all
to
that-
tell me he got swapped out? So what he did in Infinity War and Endgame, what impact does that have now? If he was a scroll the whole time,
The whole time. And then I
The
was
what?
watching Civil War a couple weeks ago, last weekend.
doesn't it ruin
It's
those
probably
movies
one
now
of the
for you?
illest. Even his anecdotes, his jokes, and everything. I'm like, wait a minute. How can a scroll say this kind of like joke or have that kind of history?
Yeah.
I don't think they really thought that shit out because even
They
the
didn't.
little jokes like that he was saying,
Like
they're
the quips,
based on a
the quips.
richer history of their relationship. How the
Yeah.
fuck does he know that shit? So
Well,
I
he
don't
was
know, it
like,
just didn't
yeah,
make
he was
sense.
Tony Stark's boy, like one of his best friends, right? So that whole time he was a scroll. Like it kind of
Well,
And then that means
left it
he didn't
open.
die?
They left it open, so I'm
Tony-
sure that at some point they'll say exactly when he got swapped out. All they said at the end was how you've been here a long time or some shit like that. So they were vague with it, but it all depends on where they're gonna say he was swapped out. But yeah, I
He couldn't
know,
have
man.
missed
Well-
fucking Tony Stark's dying, son.
They-
He wasn't
they-
even there.
right, exactly.
exactly.
So he was a scroll when his boy got killed. I mean, when he died. Yeah. Well, they're gonna hopefully they answer that in Armor Wars.
Yeah,
It was gonna be a show. Now it's gonna be a full length movie.
Right.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it's gonna be a movie.
Oh,
So
shit. I
hopefully,
thought that was
hopefully.
And when is that scheduled to come out? 2026?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, who knows when anything's coming out anymore, right?
I think the bottom line is they kind of missing the mark at first for the whole, what it was, like 10, 15 movies where they had the lead up to Endgame. I think they sold the story, but once that story was done, it was going to be hard to top it. I personally, this is just my opinion, they needed to sell villains because I feel like people needed to tune into something new. The only reason I went to even see Thor 4 was because I was interested to see what Christian Bale was going to do as Gore the God Butcher. I think if you would have sold villains, especially iconic villains that people love, you would have got at least maybe not the same audience, but close to it because you would have been seeing something different, right? I don't know. I don't know what direction they're going in. Everything is kind of.
What do you guys think about Guardians of the Galaxy? It's
That
in
one
Disney
was
now.
good.
That
That
was
shit
good,
is
yeah.
fucking amazing.
That
right?
one was good.
It was.
Holy
Why?
shit.
But the
Why?
end of a
How-
trilogy, so it's
It's
not
the end.
leading to really anything.
Yeah,
It's just the end of
it's
a
its
trilogy.
own story.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have Adam Warlock. I wasn't crazy about Adam Warlock.
Yeah, me neither.
in it. Yeah,
But the movie was good. In
I
spite
couldn't
of it.
believe he was
Yeah.
like
It was
that much of
emotional.
a buffoon on it. That was the only
Buffoon is the best word. Yeah.
because Adam Warlock is fucking super powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they really spoke.
Bro,
I don't
they nerfed
understand
him.
how
They
they were
nerfed
able
him
to
so
beat
he
him.
bad.
had one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
in
The
the
soul stone
comic.
in his head. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how they kind of beat him. Well, they didn't technically
They
beat
made
him,
him
but they
into a
kind of
baby.
did. Yeah,
they made him into
right.
a baby.
he was born the day before. I'm
Yeah,
glad
some
they
shit
said
like
that
that.
shit, bro.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, despite of that, it was still a solid movie. That was one. I forgot about Guardians. One of the
that was
few
probably the
solid-
best
The best.
in a long time, bro.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate Wakanda Forever. I enjoyed it. Even though I
How
missed,
can we forget that? Okay,
I missed
didn't-
T'Challa. You know,
Yes.
T'Challa. Rest
I
in peace.
enjoyed that one too. I did
I
enjoy
was
that.
I thought it was all right. Like
It
it,
was all
wasn't
right.
bad. It wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
it wasn't, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't
bad.
Ant-Man 3 bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
I'm
right.
saying
Exactly.
Ant-Man 3 was.
And it wasn't
What?
Wonder Woman too bad either.
But that
Yo,
was
you can't
what
be
the fuck
mixing
was that,
DC
bro?
and Marvel,
yeah,
dog.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, you
Oh
can't be
shit, my
mixing.
bad. That was James. Well, who did
can't
that?
be-
James Gunn, though, right?
You can't be
What?
mixing grape and cherry Kool-Aid, dog.
Yeah.
Yo, my bad, son.
Saying?
I mixed my superheroes up. Nah, that was
Yeah,
horrible. That
I
was
don't know.
horrible.
I mean,
all
to
of
be
that
honest
shit.
with
I
you,
feel
they
like all
still-
these shit, they're doing not justice to none of
They
this
still got me because I'm still gonna watch. I still have an interest.
too.
But I will say this: I was front and center as soon as a new episode was available. When it was Loki, when it was the
Me
the
too.
beginning.
That
Now
shit was
all of a
fire.
sudden,
Even
I'm
the
binging
Vision, the
them.
Scarlet Witch shit. That shit was
WandaVision.
fire. WandaVision.
Now,
yeah.
now I'm binging them when there's 3 or 4 of them and stuff like that. So I'm losing a little interest. It
Yeah.
still got me, but
Same.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. If this keeps up, it might not be my go-to show. You know what I'm saying? Especially because you got so little time to watch anyway. Now I'm starting to pick this one over the other one. I can't
Yeah.
promise that I'm going to keep tuning in.
You know what kind of got me hyped for some new shit? Because, the Transformer movie, right? Quick spoiler break. At the end, they introduce
G.I.
G.I.
Joe.
Joe, right? So
Yeah.
now the comics just released, just recently, a couple of weeks ago, they got a whole new universe of, it's going to be,
That'll be dope.
it's like
need
a
to do
Hasbro. They call it a Hasbro verse, right?
Nice. Good.
It's,
They need
it's
to
gonna
do her
be G.I.
justice.
Joe and Transformers, and
Nice.
that's gonna be so fire. So they got the first two, the manga, fucking dope. I like the storylines. Jetfire. They already immediately showed Jetfire coming out. He was like, shh. I guess they woke him up. He was asleep in the asteroid, and
Jetfire.
yo, it's fire.
Does he
fire.
look
So
like how he used, how he
Yes.
really looked?
He's
'Cause
not
Michael
the
Bay
fucking
grew him, dude.
crippled.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that, bro?
Yeah,
How
that
you
was
did
corny.
Jetfire so dirty like
Corny.
that, man?
Corny.
Jetfire was like the fucking
what's
epic,
crazy?
yeah.
I love Jetfire. You know what's crazy? That when I saw Rise of the Beast, that airplane Autobot, I was like, this better not be fucking Jetfire, bro. I'm gonna be tight.
That's the same shit I thought. I was like, yo, they can't do him dirty
Yeah.
again, bro. That is, they can't do him dirty in that, the whole remake of that.
I'm
But,
not gonna lie.
back to the Marvel.
I'm sorry. That last battle in Rise of the Beast was fire. It was fire.
I was very
can't
happy
front.
with that. Very
I
content.
can't front.
And I love G.I. Joe. Even those two movies that could have been, they were a little lackluster, but I still just love the whole novelty of it. Fucking
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, son. Storm
What'd you-
Shadow,
what'd you
Snake
th-
Eyes.
What'd you think of Rise of the Beast, Ease?
I actually haven't seen it yet, man. It's on my list, but I haven't checked it out, man. But I gotta check it
Yo,
out.
Goku
Especially with the way you guys
SX.
talk about it. Yeah.
For sure. Check it out. For sure.
Yo, to what you were saying, yeah, Loki, I was locked in. Fucking
WandaVision, I was locked in.
Locked
yeah,
in.
but they've been
Mhm.
losing me lately, man. And Miss Marvel was decent. I
It was.
liked it, but I could see why people didn't like it.
Do you
Yeah.
watch the anime too, like the cartoons?
Not really. Sometimes.
Oh man, yo, you know who's if you have time, go into Spider-Man's, bro. They got so many dope episodes.
So that I've
especially-
seen because my kid is a Spider-Man fanatic. So
So
I've
you've seen
definitely
all of them,
I've
like,
seen
when they go in depth
Amazing
with-
Spider-Man. I've
Yeah.
seen Spectacular Spider-Man. I've seen.
whole
On,
Venom
they have those
series.
on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah,
They got
man.
all that on Disney Plus. Yeah. So he
See, my
watched
son's too little. My son's too little.
My son
Yeah,
got me
him
into
too.
that. I watched literally all of them. I love those. I love the Fantastic Four, even a Silver Surfer, yo. That shit
Yeah.
was fire. And back to Green Lantern, yo, his shit was fire too. Like
I'm
the
not
DC
gonna-
animated
series.
movies are fire. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think DC got better animated
Yes,
movies
absolutely.
than Marvel.
Where they
Way
failed
better.
at live action. Yeah, but
Yeah.
The
but absolutely the
only-
animated ones.
Wait,
though.
so you're saying the animated ones are better than the live actions, not DC, right? Because
For DC, the animated ones are definitely better so far than their live action
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I agree.
No, but if you compare the animated DC movies to the animated Marvel, is DC's better.
I think I'm.
Yeah,
DC
yeah, I
is
would say
better.
so. I would
It's
say
more
so.
serious and more like
What is
fucking
it?
gory and.
Gory,
Did you
bloody.
see that fucking that war? It's
Yeah,
called Apocalypse.
everybody
Yeah.
got body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro.
Word.
Yeah.
Shout out to HBO Max. Cut that check.
Word.
Yeah, what else? Netflix. I was streaming. This is a little old school, but the
Speaking of
Suits. I just
Netflix,
Speaking of
Yeah.
Netflix, go ahead.
man.
actually go into that with that. What you were telling me before. That shit was
so
kind of.
I actually read it was in
intriguing.
the paper. So a couple months ago, they cracked down on the whole password sharing shit because, you know, everybody had like 10, 15 users on their account. So once they cracked that down, I mean, they got backlash for it, and you would have think they would have took a negative hit, but supposedly they got 6 million more subscribers.
So it worked out for them
since they've actually cracked down. Now, I don't know how that is relative to how much they usually grow, but I will say that I was kind of shocked that they grew that much. Basically,
you know how they
accounts.
A lot of these things also just little deals they do with like another a sponsor, and it just shoots
like T-Mobile,
T-Mobile, because I got free Netflix because I got a T-Mole account, so I don't even know what's the payment for that.
That could be part of it. A lot of it is just
that's a lot of the smoke and mirrors that people just do. Because even back to what we were saying before, all of these new artists, they're trending, but they're paying to play. They're paying for everything. Everybody's paying something.
But that's been forever, man.
Crazy.
Just honestly, advertising money has always ran the game. It's just different kinds of advertising now. But so speaking on that though, in terms of that, like thinking about my own personal use, I can't say that Netflix is my go-to right now. I watch Cobra Kai on Netflix, but I can't really say that
was dope.
I can't really say that I go to Netflix.
All right, if you had to choose just one out of all the streaming platforms
right now, shit, I don't know. That's a tough call, man. I mean, obviously, I got kids, so Disney Plus is important. For myself, I don't know. I find myself watching shows more so than looking for movie content. Like I watch the new movies, but I don't go to a streaming platform looking to put on old shit. You know, so it's tough to say. I mean, when it comes to network TV, it would be Hulu or even Peacock or something like that. So I don't know. It's a tough call. I can't really.
Speaking of Peacock, they just added the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
So that shit is gonna get a lot of views.
Which was dope.
Yo, that movie was fire, bro.
That was super fire.
I love it. I love it. Because they didn't try to put no stupid messaging, they didn't try to make it woke. They just made a fun movie for the family. And that's why Disney needs to take notes from fucking Illumination. That's the studio that put out Super Mario Brothers. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo's could have went to Disney, but they didn't. They went to Illumination. They did it right. So let that be.
Illumination is funny in a different sense, man. Like I know that Netflix, especially Marvel, they tried to throw in like a million jokes, but like Illumination, like it's not meant to be a laugh moment. It's just a joke in the dialogue, and then you laugh because of it, man. Like a lot of shit, like movies that I never saw until my son watched them that I thought would be stupid, like movies like Angry Birds and shit like that. I'll watch it.
I never saw that.
No, but it's actually entertaining.
They are.
The way they do the dialogue. Like he don't laugh, but like I catch the fucking joke, and I'm sitting here cracking up, and he looking at me like I'm crazy. So I'm kind of preferring that a little bit. It's a little bit. Disney's getting too campy with the joking.
Yeah, I used to like the original phases of Marvel. Like they were subtle with the jokes, but they were funny. Like they were timed good. But then you look at like going back to Thor 4, right? He overdid it with the jokes. And then like, bro, how you get Christian Bale, one of the best A-list actors out there, and then underutilize him. They underutilized him, bro. Like they could have did so much with that character, and they dropped the bag.
I was
disappointed.
I was disappointed.
Yeah. So, well, it's funny enough. Another sequel that came out recently that I was in. The first one was okay. I guess good enough to spark another one. But the Meg 2, right? Mm-hmm. My wife and my son is into these sharks and horror movies. I'm like, okay, I just go.
Do they watch Shark Week? Like, are they into Shark Week?
Yeah, all that stuff. So it was actually really good. It's your boy,
Jason Statham in it punching the sharks.
Yo,
he's fucking choking out the sharks
on a jet ski in the ocean, harpooning these fucking football-sized field.
Fucking Jason Statham, bro.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, not amazing. I mean, I'm open, but it was really good.
5 stars. What do you give it?
Out of 5 stars, I'll give it like a strong 3.9.
Which is like 5 stars for a horror movie.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
It had me like engaged the whole time. a couple times you're like, oh, he's definitely gonna die, and then oh shit, this person doesn't die.
Bro, come on, Jason Statham ain't gonna die.
Don't die, bro.
It's
No, not
in
even
his
him,
contract.
but
You
other
don't kill
people.
me off in my movies.
Yeah. Oh,
You
bro, they
know?
killed off your boy John Wick, bro. What the fuck? I don't even know what to believe because now they're saying there's another one coming out.
Too much.
do
I'm
you
good.
think?
4 was the last one.
I'm good.
I just
Thank
don't
you.
understand how that last
I love you,
battle killed
Keanu.
him like that.
I freaking, you know.
Did you watch it?
I'll freaking say I'll worship Keanu. Jesus. Well, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with the John Wicks, bro.
Yeah.
They gave him a proper send off. Just leave him be, bro. They're doing spin-offs. They're doing a show called The Continental.
Yes, about the
which
hotel.
is a prelude, and it's when this dude was younger. What's his name? The old dude.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fire. Actually, I would like to see that. Yeah. That's gonna be like some 007 type shit.
I think it's gonna be on Peacock. Pause.
Yeah. Said that word a lot today.
Yeah,
I mean it's a good streaming network.
Whoa. No, look.
So just before we wrap up,
yeah.
what I've been watching. Careful. I want to get canceled, guy. What was I gonna say, bro? Oh, SEAL Team. I've been, bro.
I was gonna, yes. You told me about that. I need to watch that
shit. I don't know what it is. Like, I just got hooked. I mean, I was in my Succession bubble for a while. Finished Succession.
You don't feel like all these shows kind of carry the same outline? I feel like back when I first started watching this, like Blacklist, specialized team. One person is, expert in this, expert in that, and then they just run these convoy missions over and over. In Blacklist, it was just espionage over and over. And I feel like I see it in Suits now too, right? I mean, Suits is open, team, little behavior issues with each other. Like it's the same fucking setup, bro. The same theme, the same plot. I don't know.
But I mean, but that's always going to be. If it works, they're going to keep on following what works. So
I think one of the shows that had a perfect formula was Breaking Bad. They didn't drag it out. 5 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they kept the story perfect. They didn't cut it short. They had it planned out. When you plan a story out from beginning to end, like how it's gonna end. Like some of these stories, like for example, The Witcher, they fucked up.
What do you think about that?
I didn't even watch the 3rd season, bro. Like I just heard so much terrible stuff about it. Like I might watch it just to judge it for myself, but I'm not even interested. I love the first 2 seasons, but now
you watched The Boys,
and now Henry Cavill's done. So they might cancel The Witcher, to be honest.
Wow.
I love The Boys. The Boys, I can't wait for the next. See, shows like that, I can't wait for the next season.
Yeah, I can't wait for The Boys either. You know what I can't wait for either? It was kind of dope too, but I don't think really gets a lot of light. Titans. Have you ever seen it?
It finished. They wrapped it up.
Yeah.
It was the last.
That was the last.
Yeah. So
I don't like that.
The James Gunn universe is rebooting a lot of shit, and they're getting rid of a lot. Doom Patrol is done. Titans is done. I think
they didn't even finish off the story. Then
they did. Titans. They did a 2-part. They did a 2-part to the last season. So
I got to see that. I don't think I saw that last episode.
It was cool. It was cool, but it could have been better. But what was the show with John Cena?
Peacemaker.
That was a good show. So
that was cool.
I think he might continue that storyline. Yeah, but we'll see. We're gonna see what James Gunn does with this new DC universe. The verdict is still out.
I mean, it really would be the only thing popping, because even their CW shows, their double shits are done. I mean, The Flash ended with them trying to segue into another series, but that shit looked whack as fuck. I think I was like the only person that watched the ending of The Flash, to be honest. That last
what happened at the end?
Shit. I mean, he fixed everything like fucking usual, and then he sort of like retired and showed you these 3 other superheroes who, because I'm not as big on DC as I am on Marvel, I didn't even recognize them, and that was that. I mean, that was it. I guess
I never.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I guess that's the way that they were going to introduce a new show that's coming out, but I haven't heard shit about it, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't really see it because, I mean, the Flash TV show, I kind of checked out after season 6. I just watched 7, 8, and 9 because I had started it. I wanted to fucking finish it.
Have you guys heard anything about the Superman legacy thing that they're doing?
Nothing other than what we've already said with the younger actor. They cast him, but
they casted him. Yeah.
So
I never got into those CW shows, to be honest. Green Arrow, The Flash.
I was watching
good
The
in their
Flash a little.
early
It was
days.
kind of dope.
They were good in their early days, but it ran too long. It ran way too long.
I mean, DC has a lot of projects that flop. Like they never put out that Batgirl movie.
It was a show for a while. That they canceled that too.
Yeah, they're canceling a lot of shit. So the next movie they got coming out is Blue Beetle with the kid from Cobra Kai.
That looks kind of fire, bro.
It did look alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It looked alright.
It looks a little like that's their version of Green Lantern, kind of.
I was gonna say Iron Man. It reminds me a lot of the Iron Man tech.
Too. Yeah, Iron Man tech too. Yeah.
But from what I understand, his character in the comics came out earlier than Iron Man, so I don't know.
I didn't even know what it was at first when I was watching it, and my son's like, "This is Spider-Man," and I'm like, "No, this is a preview to another movie, right?" So I'm watching it, and for some reason, I caught vibes of, I don't know if y'all remember that cartoon, The Tick, like that.
The Tick.
Yeah, I caught vibes of that shit, and then eventually I realized that that's not what it was.
You know, it gives me vibes of the clip. The Tick.
The clip.
What's that shit called? What's his name? The Invincible. That shit is fucking
Invincible.
Crazy,
the cartoon.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
Yeah, I love it.
Holy shit, bro.
I can't wait. I'm waiting for the second season of that.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Have you seen it, Eaz?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
So Invincible is an animated series on Amazon, and it's based about this teenager who's superpowers, but his father is like Superman, kind of, but the motherfucker is evil. He's like Homelander.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you think of Homelander, the boy. So the whole series is him trying to like fight off his dad, and his dad is just doing a lot of evil shit.
Fucking beyond evil.
Beyond evil.
Oh, couldn't even kill he was trying to kill his own son, couldn't his son is so powerful too. But they're like next level, super strong next level.
I'm waiting on the second season. They haven't announced when it's coming out.
I was seeing a couple trailers that they're showing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be dope too, even as a live action.
Yeah.
So that'll be dope.
So on that note,
what's next for Marvel then? What's next? You don't know right now?
The Marvels.
Oh, the Marvels.
The Marvels.
Yeah, that might be the first Marvel movie that I'm not gonna go see in theaters.
Maybe
I thought you was gonna say you'll get surprised and it'll be good. No, I'm not watching that shit either, bro.
It's just like
that's like Barbie for Marvel.
People don't like Brie Larson already.
But you know what? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go back to my original point. The fucking villain, uninteresting. And so with a movie like that, if you don't have something interesting for them to go up against, I don't think anybody's gonna care, man.
That movie's not gonna. I'm sorry, Marvel, but that movie's not gonna do good. Yeah. I know who's looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yo, we were looking forward to the Avengers going up against Thanos and fighting for the Infinity Stone. Like, what is going on here? What are they fighting towards?
I think they're gonna develop Kang with the Loki.
The actors getting canceled. Jonathan Majors, they might not even use him anymore.
He's getting
canceled. Well, he's got some life in him. The case is going his way at least.
I hope he does fine with what his real life situation is.
But this movie has nothing to do with that, and so it's even worse because people are definitely not going to be interested. I think you're going to watch people watch the Loki series because it furthers that story. But it's like, come on, let's get it going.
I think that's going to plant the seeds for you to get invested in this Kang story a little bit more.
Yeah, yo, we're in phase 5, guys. This is phase 5. Like I want to see the fucking X-Men already.
Yo, speaking of who, I'm sorry, total sidebar, but I just remembered and was talking about.
We're about to get cut off in a minute. So
that did you guys see that Sound of Freedom shit?
Nah.
I want to go see it. I want to go see it.
Next show, we got to speak on that. And that's going to
absolutely
open up because that.
Yeah.
Bro,
I want to go support
we're going to get on our tinfoil shit.
Yeah.
For that one, we got to watch that because that's crazy.
We got to dedicate a good 20 minutes.
And then I'm going to go in on, you had Robert Kennedy, right? He this is, I can't even believe I'm saying
about to get
he was just.
Save it, Arky, save it.
Save it.
Save it for next time.
It. Tune in next time.
Tune in next time,
shout
guys.
Out to everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Till next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Old school